Looks like you've been missing a lot of work lately.
I wouldn't say I've been missing it, Bob.
What would you say you do here?
God damn it. Bob, we love playing here tonight. My brother's ready.
It helps if you think of it as a game, Bob. Every game has a winner and a loser.
You must possess strength to inflict pain, Bob.
Yo, welcome to a very special episode of the Two Bobs Cast. We are an A to Z rock and metal podcast going from the alphabet A to Z, picking different bands, ranking their discographies. Wham, bam, thank you, ma'am. Today, though, we will not be doing a letter as we stated last week. We instead wanted to make a special tribute episode to the dearly departed Prince of Darkness, Ozzy Osbourne. So we are here to have a little fun, but yet, talk about awesome Ozzy music, talk about some of our favorite moments, seeing him live, different Ozzfests, different things of that nature. So hoping we get people in here with us and reminisce and have a good old time. But first, allow me to introduce my very special, famous, amazing partner, Mr. H.
Ridiculous.
Let me tell you, if you've been hanging around the X universe lately, man, I mean, we got somebody in here that is just really making some noise in the Cleveland sports scene. None other than Bob from, I can't remember what any name is.
Bob in Broadview.
That's it. Bob from Broadview.
Bob
Mr. H.
That's me.
How you doing, partner?
I'm doing good. I'm done with the X fighting. Oh my goodness, I got crushed. God, did I get crushed like I've never been crushed. I've never had my phone blow up before from this podcast or anything like I've seen for this X post. Like I posted two things, and oh my goodness, man, to the Shamafia. I'll just leave it as the Shamafia. Boy, did the Shamafia come after me. Oh boy.
Yeah, it's funny. Those people are the loudest, but you got a lot of likes, like a lot of just people liking it. So
I did. And those people, didn't want to comment. I think for fear of the Shamafia coming after them. But I did get a lot of people that actually did like my comments. So.
It's the same as like
kind of agreed-ish, I guess.
Yeah, same as like politics, right? A lot of people you don't know where they stand because they're just like, keep me out of it. I don't want to get in the middle of this firestorm. It kind of the same thing with our fun Browns quarterback situation.
The great thing is it's good news all around, pretty much, right? So both guys, both these rookies did pretty well in their showing. So if you want to check that out, go. I'm sure you can find it. Oh my goodness. But I got to say though, it was fun. I got called a lot of names, but it was fun. I was like, oh, Kelly's like, why do you like this? And I'm like, well, it's just entertaining. I just want to see what the next comment is because it's just otherworldly. Like it's craziness. And I'm like, huh?
Yeah.
So it was fun.
Yeah,
it was fun. So we'll see what happens this weekend, and then maybe I'll make a couple more comments and get called some more names.
Hopefully,
that's not why we're here.
Play. Yeah, we're not here for that.
But. We're here. We'll call this the special double O podcast. The special double zero for Ozzy Osbourne. So
yeah. So what we're gonna do today is, in lieu of album, since we already did an Ozzy album, please check it out if you haven't. We've ranked all the Ozzy albums.
And the Black Sabbath podcast. Yep. We've done both of them already.
Yep. We've ranked all the albums from Sabbath, all the albums from Ozzy. So check those out. Today, we're going to rank some of our favorite songs. So we'll mix it up a little bit. I'll pass it to Mr. H here in a second. We made a few guidelines and rules to help make it a little more fun. So we made a few changes to what we were allowed to pick to ourselves. And then at the end, we have a few of our friends / listeners. It gave us some of their favorites, so we will read their lists a little bit later as well. So,
Yeah.
Mr. H, I'll roll it over to you.
Okay, so what we decided to do here was we originally figured, well, a lot of our songs on our list, our friends' list, are probably going to be the same. There's a lot of just obviously classic songs that everybody, most people, not everybody, I'm sure I could find somebody that hates every one of these songs, but the vast majority of people are going to have these songs on their list. So rather than just say, hey, that's number whatever on my list, or
Right.
I didn't number mine, but like, hey, that's on my list too. That's on my list too. Okay, next song. Like, that's kind of dumb. So we ruled out a dozen songs of Black Sabbath and Ozzy. We're doing both together. So all of Ozzy's work, we are going through our favorite songs. Now you could have a whole bunch of Black Sabbath and a little bit of Ozzy, or the other way around, or even them up. Well, however you wanted to do it, whatever your favorite song of Ozzy's career was, then that was fair game. So here are the 12 songs we ruled out of everybody's lists, including our friends too. So we didn't have a lot of duplicate songs. That list is Mr. Crawley, Bark at the Moon, Iron Man, Over the Mountain, Paranoid, War Pigs, No More Tears, Shot in the Dark, Crazy Train, Mama I'm Coming Home, Flying High Again, and NIB Nativity in Black. So we ruled all of those out. It was just kind of ones we chose. There are a couple more we could have added to that are probably going to be pretty common, and we'll talk about those as we go too. Nothing against these songs. These are all ridiculously great songs. We probably, us and our friends, probably all agree these are great songs for the most part. So we just ruled them out just kind of for conversation's sake. So do you have any thoughts on any of those songs in general? Like
Yeah, just obviously all of them we picked because they're classic songs, right? They're staples of their live show. Basically, every time I've seen them, every time you turn on the radio, these songs are just lambasted in our lives, right?
Yeah.
So all amazing songs. Our friends and our cover bands, things like that. We just saw our friend Brian. They played No More Tears.
Yeah.
I mean, just a classic, epic song.
Yeah.
Just think about even the songs that we picked. All the incredible musicians that played on all those songs. All the guitar players, of course, and then all the crazy drummers, the keyboard players, the bass players.
Yeah.
All just around Ozzy. Just legendary songs.
And we kind of covered all of them, right? Like there's a couple, 2 to 3 Randy Rhoads songs on here. There's 2 Jake E. Lee songs on here. There's at least one, I think at least one Zakk Wylde song in here, and obviously half of this list is Black Sabbath. So with Tony Iommi, so we kind of covered pretty much all of his other cohorts as well. So except for a couple of the newer guys, but there's no real huge classic songs in there, and there probably isn't really many songs on any of our lists from those albums either, to be honest. So
right.
But anyhow, I just wanted to throw those out there so when people hopefully watch this and eventually look and be like, man, this guy's list, he had 10 songs or 12 songs and none of them were Flying High Again or Crazy Train. What kind of crack are these guys
Right.
smoking? Just want to make sure that we put up front, we left those out on purpose. So,
Right.
So, all right, do you want to start or do you want me to start? I don't have mine in any particular order. I just tried to mix them up so I didn't have a lot from the same people all in a row or anything like that. But I know that one of our friends put he has his Sabbath list and his Ozzy list, and then another friend of mine, he sent me a list that is almost all Ozzy because he's not that huge a Black Sabbath fan. So he does, but I don't know how you have yours set up. I don't have these songs ranked in any order, so the first one for me is not necessarily my favorite one. But
same. I think it's really, really hard to really rank them.
Oh, it would have been impossible to rank these. Impossible.
I mean, even the albums were hard. I mean, I remember we talked about even the solo albums where we each had our maybe 3 favorites, and then there's that middle section. It's they're all amazing. Not our favorites, but they're all amazing. So same thing with these songs. I can't even probably tell you one or two, what even one or two are, because they're all phenomenal.
Right.
So I'll go ahead and let you start.
All right.
Go ahead with your first one.
All right. So I started off with the very first song in kind of Ozzy's recording career. I'm sure there were other songs that maybe he wrote first, but because we didn't rule this one out, and it's kind of the song that started it all for basically heavy metal, for in my opinion and in many people's opinion, and that is the song Black Sabbath off of Black Sabbath. I mean, it starts with the rain and the doom and gloom and just the great, guitar riff, and it's slow and like dark. It's just, the song just about screams what heavy metal was going to become. So it's just it's a fantastic song, and I feel like I just wanted to start off with that one because it's basically just the first one, and it's the first that many have heard that was in this type of music that they were like, "Oh my God, wait a minute, what was that?" Like, I can't even imagine. This came out 2 years before I was born. I can't even imagine what that must have been like. But when there's a song that comes out, a band that comes out like this that nobody has ever heard anything like before, and you got to hear that and go, "Oh my God, what is?" And it's one of those things where they probably bought the album and were like, "Okay, I'm not sure it even got played on the radio all that much, so I don't even know if people had heard this before, but maybe they picked it up, whatever, played it, and after the first song, they're probably calling their friends on the landline, from back in the day, and or going to their house and saying, "Dude, you've got to listen to this song. This is unbelievable." Like, I know I would have done that. So back, no cell phones. I would have been screaming for me to come over here. You've got to hear this. This is, you've never heard anything like this. And this is kind of the start of it all. So my first one is Black Sabbath off of Black Sabbath.
Yeah, so that song, just a comment, I'll say to anybody, like, that song just sounds like pure evil to me.
Yeah.
It's like the perfect start to Black Sabbath's career, because it sounds so like bare bones and creepy and scary.
Evil darkness.
Yeah, I mean, they legit went for it there. So I love it. Actually, did not have that one on my list, but it made.
Fair enough.
I actually, we talk about honorable mentions. Like, it was in my list, and then as you think of songs, it kind of wedges its way off. So we'll say that one's an honorable mention for me. But what I will say, and we got Ozzy
fan.
Who, of course, go to Crazy Train.
And look at the picture.
Yep.
That's awesome. What you got? That's awesome.
Yep. Very cool. Yeah. So as we said, Ozzy fan, we had a list of songs that we cut right from the front, where we couldn't pick it because they're just popular. Everybody's going to pick these. Crazy Train's phenomenal, but that's the one of the ones that we just.
It's one of 12 that we kind of banned from these lists, and if you really want me to, I'll go through them again. But but that's the only reason that one's not on our list.
So my first choice, kind of the same idea as you. Instead of going with the very first song that Ozzy made with Black Sabbath, I went to the first song that you hear when you go to the first album of the Blizzard of Oz, his first solo album. I went with the classic song, I Don't Know. Absolutely love this song. This is one that we probably could have added for 14, right?
That's 14. That's the one I was talking about.
Yep. I could not leave this one off because of the rules that we made. This is just a phenomenal song. Again, another one that they always play live, and Randy is incredible in this song. The solo is so good. The riff itself is so good. One of my favorite live songs that he does. It's probably one of the first songs I ever heard from Ozzy before I even knew it was Ozzy, right? So, just great song, great solo. Starts off an amazing album. Start of an amazing solo career. Because if you remember where he was at this time with Black Sabbath, who the heck knew what was going to happen? Because
even he thought his career might be over. He didn't know what to expect,
right?
And then to come out with that, to find Randy Rhoads, and then come out with that. Oh my goodness!
Yeah. So this was my song that I solely wanted to pick off of Blizzard of Oz. there's a couple other really great songs off here that I could have picked, but I don't know. Just felt like a perfect start for me, just being that it started everything. It wasn't necessarily the first single per se, but obviously you throw on Blizzard of Oz, this is the first song you hear. So
Yep.
my first choice from Blizzard of Oz, I Don't Know.
All right. So my second song that on my list here is the newest, the most recent song on my entire list, and that's "Countdown's Begun" off of Black Rain. Now, Black Rain, to me, has two really good songs on it, and I chose this one because I love the Zakk Wylde riff on this one, and it's just a great song. And I mean, I like the chorus, and then it goes back into this killer riff, and it just sounds like Ozzy, And this was at a time where he wasn't putting out a lot of really great stuff, in my opinion. This was 2008, and I didn't have anything that came after this that I thought was better than this song in particular. So I really, really like this song. The other one is "I Don't Want to Stop." Is the other song, and that's a song that he's played live a lot of times too. Now, "Countdown's Begun" is a little bit deeper cut, like it isn't a song that he plays live maybe ever. But that's not stopping me from putting other songs on here that he doesn't play live ever either.
Right.
But I do love this Zakk Wylde riff on this one, and I put it on here, and I had a list of, like you did, I had a list of like 15 songs, and then I started pairing them off. And this one wasn't the one that bumped "I Don't Know." I will cover that in a little bit, but basically, "I Don't Know" is not on here for the sole reason is that I knew other people would have it on their list, and I didn't just want to do like I said, that's one we should have included probably.
Yeah,
to not,
for sure,
not include, but "I Don't Know" is a phenomenal song. You're absolutely right, and it really should be on my list. The only reason it's not is for that reason.
Yeah,
so. But this was like the second to last one that made my list, and it stayed there, even though I took a couple other ones off. And I'm like, because I love this song, and I wanted to kind of cover this part of his career where he kind of had a little comeback for me, where he really put some stuff out I really liked, and that was on this album. So, "Countdown's Begun" off of Black Rain is my second of my 10 songs.
All right. For my next song, I decided to go to my favorite Ozzy album. Pretty much believe it's yours too, if my memory is correct with this. But my favorite, not my favorite, I shouldn't say, but my next song is the strangely, maybe oddly acoustic song "Killer of Giants" off of The Ultimate Sin. Is that on your list as well?
Yes, it is.
And is also on our friend Brian's as well. So maybe I'll say a little bit about it.
Yeah, we'll just both talk about it and cover it. Yep.
"Killer of Giants" is, again, with the acoustic guitars. I think Jake kills it on this. And Brian even mentions when he talks about his list is there's a lot of hints of Randy Rhoads in this song. It kind of channels that type of playing that Randy did, and just a phenomenal song. It kind of, and it's the reason why I love this album so much. It goes all over the place, and it hits in every spot. It's got the heavier songs. It's got the 80s feeling songs, and I think "The Killer of Giants" is just a phenomenal song. It brightens up that B-side too, the second half of it, because of course you got "Shot in the Dark" in there, and I think it's almost a perfect album. But just knowing that "Killer of Giants" is sitting there on side B is I'm just excited to always hear about it. Yeah. So I'll toss it to you. What did you think of "Killer of Giants"?
This is my favorite Ozzy solo album.
Okay.
I have two songs off of this album in my list, and another two that I could have put on this list. I mean, this album blows me away still to this day, and it's sad in a way because this is an album that Ozzy didn't really like.
Yeah.
So he, after the Ultimate Sin tour, which I didn't see because I was a little bit too young, but our friend Brian, whose list you have, did go see with Metallica opening. I would love to have seen that, but I I was 14. This was in April. The first concert I went to was in July of that same year. So finally, I wore my parents down and let me go to one of these concerts, but it just didn't happen for me.
Yeah.
By The Ultimate Sin, although I absolutely loved that album then too, and I still love it now. I've listened to this so much in the last week, even this one album. I just love this album, and I cannot turn it off. I mean, I could put so many songs in here, so just because they're all my favorites. But um, this to me, you already said it. This is it's a Jake Healy masterpiece. He kind of does it all here, right?
Yeah.
It's just a beautiful song, but it's definitely a song of its time, though. In the middle of the Cold War, it's about nuclear war. It's about pressing the button. It's about all that. But the cool thing about it is this song takes me back to that time too, because it's like a time machine. It just transforms me back to that time. It's the subject matter of the song. It's the sound of the song. It's Jake Healy. It's this album that I just wore out time after time because I love this album. And it's kind of like, I hope it shows up in like Stranger Things, right? It's right around that time.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
I'm like, man, wouldn't it be cool to hear Killer of Giants in this final season of Stranger Things or something? But it just fits right in there, you know? So, oh man, I just absolutely love that song. And, it doesn't surprise me that other people have that on their list too. I was trying to I'm like, yeah, maybe not, but I'm like, it's just such a great song on that album. And it's the only kind of opus sounding song on that album,
Yep.
where it kind of has everything. So it just makes total sense that it's on all these lists. So.
Yeah. It's great.
Yeah, I totally agree with you. Fantastic song. I agree with you and Brian. And what did Brian say about it?
Basically, he just said that he loves the acoustic work on it.
Okay.
He said that there's definitely hints of Randy Rhoads in Jake's playing on this one. That's
Yep. I'm going to touch on that same point that you just made, that Brian made. I'm going to touch on that same point again in a few songs here also.
Okay.
I'm going to talk about Randy Rhoads and the similarities with this particular song. So it's like I said, this is a killer album, and I could have easily put more than two on here of this album. But yeah, I have that one too. Great song.
All right.
You want me? I guess I'll go into my next one here, which is "Children of the Grave" off of Master of Reality. This is another. It's just a classic, one of those killer Tony Iommi riffs. From one of the great riff masters of all time, and basically the godfather of heavy metal guitar playing, and an influence on all that are to come after him. Others people are going to have this one surely on their list too. So I figured I'll be the first to mention this one. So it's just, this is a killer song off of Master of Reality, which interestingly enough, I have two songs off of Master of Reality on here, which I don't remember what my number one ranked. I think Paranoid was my top ranked Black Sabbath album when we did our Black Sabbath podcast, but I have two songs off of Master of Reality in my list, and this is the first of those two. And I have them in here for different reasons. So, but yeah, Children of the Grave, just a classic song. Do you have Children of the Grave on yours?
I do. As a matter of fact,
we'll talk about that one. We'll get that one out of the way.
Yeah, no, I absolutely love this song. I only have two Black Sabbath songs on my whole list, so this is one of those two. It's phenomenal. The bass playing at the beginning to kind of start the chugging along, and then Tony kicks in, and it's my favorite riff that Black Sabbath has ever done. It's just a fun song. Of course, it's dark like always, but my favorite part is the breakdown when it slows down after the da 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 da, and then it goes that dun da 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 da, like, so the bells are chiming, and it's like, you're in hell now, man. It's like, you've made it. So I absolutely love this song. Like, or
you're in a cemetery with some far off church bell ringing somewhere, and it's all foggy, and you can't see where you're going. Like, it's just so creepy. It's so good.
I know. Yeah. No, they are definitely, talk about Master of Reality. They're the master of putting you in that reality.
Master of feel.
Evil.
Right? Yeah. They're the master of feel. Like, you can feel these songs. You can feel these albums from Black Sabbath.
Yep.
It's ridiculous.
Absolutely.
Great stuff.
Yep.
All right. Sorry. Children of the Grave. Great stuff.
We both love. Go ahead. Oh, go ahead. Go ahead.
I believe one of my friends has Children of the Grave on his list also, but we'll get to that later. What were you going to say?
Okay. No, I was just going to move on to the next one.
Okay, go ahead.
So I'm going to pick one here that I know you didn't pick.
All right.
That way we can get these going. No, I know because you told me that you didn't do anything newer than Black Rain.
Ooh, okay, good.
So I have one newer song that I never would have imagined that I would put on this list, but I come back to this so much. I remember when it first came out, I went over to our friend Brian's house and I was like, something is off with this song. I don't like it. I don't like this new album that they're going to do, blah, blah, blah. But now I come back to this song all the time and I absolutely love it. The title track off of his final album, the song Patient Number 9, featuring Jeff Beck. Absolutely love this song. I remember when I first heard it, I was like, I hate how they wrote this song where the way that they lead into the chorus, they kind of stop. Like the riff plays and then it stops and then it plays again and then it stops, and it bugged the heck out of me. But now I love it. It's catchy as heck. Just this chorus is again, and Ozzy does this. Now, obviously this is his bread and butter. This is what he's great at. He does these choruses that just stick in your head and you sing them all the time. And that's what he did with this. And I sing it all the time. When they call your name, better run and hide. I'm patient number 9. The guitar playing is phenomenal too. You got Robert Trujillo on it. You got Chad Smith on it too. But Jeff Beck's lead guitar obviously is
kind of
phenomenal.
The all-star album for Ozzy, right? Like this last one.
Yeah, exactly. And rest in peace, Jeff Beck as well. We lost him over the last couple years too. So again, that's tough to lose those two legends. But absolutely love Patient Number 9. I could have picked probably a couple of songs from these last couple albums because he had a couple hits here and there, but this is the one I kind of landed on with that. So next pick for me, Patient Number 9, title track from that album, his last album. So.
All right. My next one is I'm just going to go with the second one off of Master of Reality that I have here, and that's Into the Void. It's the second song off this album on my list. I love this song too. It's just another ridiculous riff, but also great like rhythm section piece too with Geezer and Ward just in total sinking on fire on here. It's just a slow burning kind of song, a plodding kind of song that just again, this song has so much feel to it to me. Like it's like it gives me like this weird feel, which I can't even describe. Like I hear it and I'm just like, it's like I'm in another place, it's just awesome. So I really, really like this song too. And like I said, this is, Geezer and Ward, Geezer Butler and Bill Ward don't get, nearly the credit that they should just for being phenomenal musicians in their own right. In addition to Tony Iommi, it's just, they're so good together and it just kind of, it's glued together here and it's just inseparable. It's so good. So Into the Void off of Master Reality is my next one.
All right. For my next one, I went to what I think is the most underrated Ozzy solo album. I think it gets so much crap, and I don't know why, and I absolutely love it. Coming from the No More Tears album, I think you kind of felt the same way about it, where maybe a lot of people don't love it due to its time or whatever, but I love it. It probably my top 3. I think it's 3 or 4 for me as an album.
The album? No More
Yes,
Tears?
the album.
Oh,
yes.
I feel like that's a super popular one.
Okay.
I don't feel like that one really gets overlooked. In fact, I think Rob or John, one of the two that sent me a list, has I think 3 songs off of that album on his list of 10. So,
which is impressive, being that you can't use "Mama, I'm Coming Home" or "No More Tears." That's crazy.
So I mean, that just tells you how many really good songs are on there.
Well, I guess that's good to hear. I get caught up in looking at a million other people's lists once I'm done with mine.
And that one's not that popular. It's
wow,
I'm shocked by that.
Yeah, I don't know why. Anyway, me and you like it. I guess that's all that really matters for this. So the track I chose from this is "I Don't Want to Change the World." second track off the album. I absolutely love it. Co-written by Lemmy, another great legend. Rest in peace, Lemmy. He co-wrote a lot of different stuff on this album for Ozzy, and this was one of the ones. He always plays this one. Oh, again, he used to always play it live. I heard it live a couple times. I love the chorus again, the chanted chorus, and I love the grungy riff from Zakk Wylde. Just awesome song. I always have loved, and I can't remember the exact lyric, but he says something. I spoke to God this morning, and he don't like you. I absolutely love that. There's a part he says before that. I can't think of it offhand. It's oh, if you got something for me, I got news for you. I spoke to God this morning, and he don't like you. I absolutely love that lyric from Ozzy. So yeah, I love this song. Again, I love this album, and I wanted to represent it somehow. I probably would have obviously picked No More Tears because I think that's the gold off this album.
Yeah.
But a lot of other tracks on this album are really, really good. Hellraiser and Mr. Tinker Train is awesome. I love Desire, but I ended up settling on I Don't Want to Change the World. So that's my next choice.
Yeah. Don't give away too many of the other songs.
Yeah, I won't.
No, I'm just kidding. Because other people have lots of songs from that album on their list. I don't have any off of that one on my list, although there are a couple I would have put on here and a couple that just kind of missed out in lieu of some other ones. Like I said, I tried to get to some deeper stuff that I love also that maybe, but so You Can't Kill Rock and Roll off of Diary of a Madman is my next one on my list. I had to get another like great Randy song in here. This is the one I was telling you that Randy kind of does it all here. It's very similar to Killer of Giants. It's like a very slow kind of, opening, and it kind of picks up later in the song. And there's some great riffs in there. There's some just great guitar work in that song. And I just wanted to get one in here that I'm like, let me go through and find a Randy song that isn't like, one. And it's funny because my friends sent me even another one, a different Randy song that I didn't think would be on anybody's list. So I'm like, I wasn't the only one thinking that way, but just to try to give some love to Randy, more love to Randy. I mean, the guy was really, as great a guitar player as he was really only on these two albums. Like, yeah, he was in Quiet Riot before that, but there's not a whole lot of recorded material with him in Quiet Riot. So, and definitely not a whole lot of popular stuff. And then he did these two albums with Ozzy, Blizzard of Oz and Diary of a Madman, and then that was it. So then he was, unfortunately we lost him. So, I wanted to make sure that I kind of did him proud and got something in here that kind of encompasses a lot of what he does. It's kind of got a D part in it a little bit, where, that's just an acoustic song that he did, but it's got a little bit of that in it and a little bit of kind of the heavier stuff too. It's just kind of runs the whole gamut there. And it's just a really, really killer song. So You Can't Kill Rock and Roll is the next one on my list.
All right. I have that one as well. Brian has that one as well.
All right. No, never mind. I thought I was trying to do something different, and everybody else is zagging when I'm zagging.
That's what I'm saying. It's really hard.
Yeah, it's hard.
Because you think it's like, well, this is a song I know that I like. Probably not everybody else is going to like, but then you're like, well, everybody likes it too. I mean, it's a great, amazing song. So
it kind of makes it fun too at the same time, because I'm wondering as I'm picking these, I'm like, I wonder who else is going to pick this one too. So it kind of makes it fun with your friend group to see what other songs they picked. And like the friends that sent me lists too, I thought that was interesting because they have songs on there that I wouldn't put on my list, but I'm like, oh, look, they both have this song on their list. And I'm like, wow, and I even went back and listened to those songs again today to try to hear what they heard. So it all makes it fun, right? It's just fun in general. So it's cool that we all have it. So we all have our own words to say about it. So it's
this one is so different to me than any of his other songs. It's very different. Like it's very anthem-y. Like it's not of a Ozzy, it's not the regular Ozzy type song. I guess it's hard to explain, but I feel like anybody that listens to Ozzy understands what I'm saying when I say that. It's very soaring. Like it's not just verse, chorus, verse, chorus. It's like he soars through like extended choruses with it. It's very, it's just a phenomenal song. Again, Randy's is great in it, of course, like you mentioned. Um, I love these first two albums so much, and that's why I try to pull, I think, more from Randy, even than Black Sabbath. To me, he had a bigger impact on me with these two albums. Definitely, other than Paranoid, I've listened to these two albums more than any of those Black Sabbath albums. So this is more my, I guess, time of my, even though I'm quite a bit younger than when these came out. But Blizzard of Oz and Diary of a Madman, just to me, are legendary, and I'm pretty sure they're top 3 or 4 for me. So I love them. I still have another Randy song yet to come, but we'll get to that one a little bit later.
I wonder if it's the same one that they picked. Oh boy, that would be hilarious.
Maybe so. But yeah, so I like that one as well.
Awesome.
So
Brian, have any comments about that one?
What's that?
Brian, have any comments about that one in particular?
Yeah, he basically just said this is the ultimate Ozzy solo anthem, one of the rare Ozzy songs that almost feels more like a classic rock tune than metal.
Yeah, I agree with that.
I feel like we all kind of are. Yeah, we all kind of.
Yeah,
we're all kind of the same page with that. But yeah, great song. So
7-minute song too, so you get a lot of bang for your buck in that one.
Yeah,
like almost 2 songs worth of material. Like but it's all good. So
yeah, I think people don't realize it. If you look at those first 2 records, there's a lot of longer songs on it. It's a lot of Randy just going off. Like, he'll in a lot of these songs he'll have a solo in the solo section, and then he'll outro a solo. And a lot of these songs. So. That's just Randy doing Randy stuff. And
Jake Ely does that on a couple songs too. One
he
of
does.
which I'm going to mention again later.
Yep.
Yeah, great stuff though. Great song. And neither of the guys that sent me lists had that one on their list. So
that's funny.
We 3 had that one, and those 2 had a different Randy song. So like I said, we'll see if it's the same.
Yep. All right. I'll take this opportunity then to knock out my last Black Sabbath song. So this one comes off the 1973 album Sabbath Bloody Sabbath, and it is the title track. Sabbath Bloody Sabbath. You have that one too?
Yeah, that's my next song on my list.
Oh,
yeah, that's
Lord.
Funny.
It's hilarious. I didn't think there's any way you'd have that one. I love the song Sabbath Bloody Sabbath.
Dun, 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 dun.
Even Ozzy, he goes to ranges that he doesn't really go to on this one when he's screeching at, the bridge, the Sabbath Bloody Sabbath, like he's screaming.
Yeah.
But yeah, again, same thing as always. That rhythm section is just incredible.
Mm-hmm.
Ward and Geezer are going insane, and of course Iommi with that awesome guitar riff. Just
that's why it's on my list.
Yeah. When the riff is what sticks in your head, not necessarily the vocals. That's a killer song. So all right, I'll go ahead and let you go. Sabbath Bloody Sabbath.
Yeah, same thing as you. Although this one, like you said, it's not the chorus that sticks in my head. It's the riff. And the only comment I have here is just, and it's about all I could really say about it, is just it's another classic Sabbath song and Tony Iommi riff that just can't be ignored. Right. I cannot ignore it. I hear it. I'll hear it again in my head tomorrow morning when I wake up. Like I'll hear it later. I can't. When I hear it, I can't get it out of my head. Like it takes forever for it to run its course and finally slip out an ear hole somewhere and leave my head until I hear it the next time. It's just, it sticks in there and it's just so good. And like you said, it's a little weird for me because it's just the way that Ozzy sings on it isn't my favorite thing that he does.
Yeah.
But it's just such a great song. I couldn't keep it off this list. I put it on here and I couldn't bump it off. No matter what else I had. I'm like, do I like this more than that? I'm like, nope, I gotta leave that one on there, man. I just have to. And like I said, other than I don't know and taking that one off for another reason, otherwise I'm like, I can't bump this song off of here. I couldn't remove it. So great song.
Yep.
Did Brian have that one on his list?
No, he did not.
Okay.
Nope.
All right. So my next one.
How many do you have left, Mr. H?
I have 1, 2, 3 more left.
Okay. Me too. We're both at our last 3.
Good. Okay. My next one is Rock and Roll Rebel off of Bark at the Moon. Again, this is another one. It's just another Jake E. Lee ripper. I mean, just great riff and solo work in this one. And I wanted to get a song off of this album in here because we couldn't put Bark in the Moon on here. And I love that song. And I love Jake E. Lee's work so much that I was like, okay, let me put this up against some other songs from No More Tears and from Blizzard of Oz and Diary of a Madman. And this one just kind of came out on top for me of that group of songs that I wanted to try to pick from. So I really, really love this song, and it's just a great riff, and Jake E. Lee's solo is amazing on here. So Rock and Roll Rebel off of Bark at the Moon is my next song.
All right. My next one, and this, I was very surprised that Brian, who had 3 from my list, this was the third that I'm about to talk about, was very surprised by this. But this is a song that it represents my true time of being into Ozzy because, I'm a little bit younger. So a lot of his best albums happened before I really got on board. But the song off of Osmosis, Perry Mason, absolutely incredible song. Definitely one of my favorites. And the fact that it came a little bit later to me was even more, I think, impressive that it kind of stood out over all these other songs. Now, he did get Geezer to come play with him on this album, which I thought was really, really cool to go along with Zakk Wylde. This song it kills it for me, just from the beginning with the organ playing, the creepiness, and then the bass into the guitar riff. I think the riff's awesome. The solo of this song is one of Zakk Wylde's best. Like, I don't care what song, I don't care what album, I love Perry Mason's solo. And Ozzy kills it too. I mean, the way that he hits those notes when he says Perry Mason is awesome. Didn't ever hear this one live, to my recollection, which kind of disappointing. I know this album's a little bit forgettable to a lot of people, but I just think that song, it just, the production, the instruments all sound fantastic. A lot of ballads on this album, but Perry Mason is just, it kicks your ass. I love it. So that's my next one, off Osmosis, Perry Mason.
All right. Another great one. Another one that we'll hear from somebody else on a list later also. So my next one is off of Sabotage, and that is Symptom of the Universe. This song is here because I love it, but also this is the one that I basically didn't include I Don't Know because I wanted to put something different in here. Now, I still love this song, and like I said, this was, if I had a top 11, I'd have I Don't Know, and I had this one in there also. So it's not like it's one I just plucked out of nowhere and threw in here. But I like this song so much because it's a contemporary style metal guitar riff, but from a time long, long ago.
Yeah.
Like, people play guitar this way still to this day in metal. But this was something Tony Iommi did when nobody was doing anything that sounded like this. So, and this was something that Randy Rhoads took and refined in his own way. This is something that Jake E. Lee takes and refines in his own way. If you listen to this song, it has those same elements of how those guys play guitar kind of normally, on a lot of their riffs that they write sounds like the riff on this song. So I love that Tony Iommi was just kind of so ahead of his time and so influential that you can hear this song like reverberated through time almost, and I love that about this song. So, and it's just a great song in general, but man, the guitar riff, once again, I'm a slave to the riff. What do you want from me? So
I hear
it's
you.
This song sounds fresh and new to me, even though it's 50 years old, it's crazy. So anyway, Symptom of the Universe off of Sabotage is my next song, and my next to last one on my list.
Okay. So the
one more.
Yep. So I got 2 left, and I picked those 2 from my 2 Head and Shoulders favorite Ozzy albums. So this will be my repeat off The Ultimate Sin and my repeat off of Diary of a Madman. So first I'll go with the Ultimate Sin song. Interested to see if it's the same one. I don't know.
Let's see.
So I'm going to wince and say Secret Loser.
No.
Okay.
Although, if this list was 12 songs long or
That would have been it.
13, no, 13. If
Okay.
this was 13 songs long, that would be on my list.
So
I have one more off of here that I
Okay.
didn't put on here that I kind of figured other people would have, and maybe Brian does, but I felt like it was too kind of on the nose. It's one they did at the tribute show or at the Ozzy's last show.
Yeah.
So anyway.
Yeah. So anyway, I could have same as you basically picked any
God.
song off this album. I love this whole album just like you. There's no skippers. There's no weak spots for me. The Secret Loser to me is just a straight up rock song. I told the story when we went over this. I was watching TV late one night, and the movie that came on, and I had it, and I can't remember, but it's from a movie, one of those '80s movies. But the song "Secret Loser" comes on, something with a car or something like that. But I absolutely love this song. Jakey Lee, of course, crushes it on this song like he does on the whole album. I just, I was a little disappointed with Bark at the Moon personally. I didn't really care for that album that much, but I wanted to give him his props in this album again by almost picking. I could pick almost any song off of here, but this album Jake just totally has it. Like this is the best thing from him. So he really shines in this song. Great solo, great riff. Ozzy kills it as well, but I absolutely love Secret Loser. So that's my second to last choice off the Ultimate Sin, Secret Loser.
I also absolutely love that song. But my last song on here, and it is off of the Ultimate Sin also. Boy, we really crushed the Ultimate Sin.
Yes, we did.
My last one is Lightning Strikes Again, which is the first song on the second side of the album, if you had the album. Oh my God, do I love that song. Like, I just put in here Jakey Lee Strikes Again because it's just such a killer riff on this song. I cannot get enough of it. Like, I wish that I could play, a riff that sounds like this one. Like, it's just, and two solos. This is where I was saying, like, you're talking about Randy going crazy. This one has a solo in the middle and an outro solo as well. Like Jake Healy just showing off, it's just this guy, Jake Healy, this guy's, I said this on the Ozzy podcast too. I'm going to say it again. This guy's 4 album output for me, from Bark at the Moon. Now I'm just talking guitar work here.
Yeah.
From Bark at the Moon to the Ultimate Sin and the first 2 Badlands albums are up there with any 4 album run by any guitar player, up there for me with Eddie Van Halen. I mean, it's some of my favorite guitar work ever, and on 4 consecutive albums from the same guy. 2 different bands, but 4 consecutive albums. This guy, man, I could not get enough of Jakey Lee from the late 80s and early 90s. I could not get enough of him. He could have put anything out and I would have listened to it. It's just the guy. It was just effortlessly great guitar playing the way I like to get. I love his tone. I love the way he plays guitar. It's just, I love watching him play guitar. I mean, it's sad too, because I didn't get to see the Ultimate Sin tour. So I never got to see him with Ozzy, because the first time I saw Ozzy was for No Rest for the Wicked, and Zakk Wylde was already in the band then. So I didn't even get to see Jakey Lee play guitar. And then from then on, they only played like Shot in the Dark. It's the only song he really ever played off of the Ultimate Sin from then on. So, because he wasn't a big fan of the album, Ozzy wasn't. So I never even got to see a lot of this stuff played live, just basically Shot in the Dark, and that was really it. But it's kind of sad, because Jakey Lee is, for whatever that's worth, anybody is my favorite Ozzy guitar player. Like I said, I could have easily put 2 more songs from this album alone, not named Shot in the Dark, on this list. The Ultimate Sin being one of them, the title track. And it's just another killer song with a killer guitar solo, and Secret Loser. So I could put both of those. I just love this album. I can't talk enough about this album and Jakey Lee in general.
We didn't even talk about the title track, "Ultimate Sin," which that's one I thought everybody else was going to put.
That's what I did too. So I kind of didn't put that one on here, but I like kind of all these songs equally.
Yeah.
So it wasn't like I left one off,
right.
because and putting another one on here I didn't like just as much. But I kind of left that one off on purpose. And really, I could put that on and take another one of these other songs off of here because, but I'm not going to just do an Ultimate Sin review, right? Like I could put the whole thing on here. So,
I know, right.
But you're right. I'm shocked that you or Brian didn't have the Ultimate Sin on here, and maybe it's for the same reason that I didn't put it on here.
Yeah,
I just felt like it was too on the nose, right? If we can't put "Shot in the Dark," I feel like that's the next logical song you're going to put on there. So,
I think we just kind of super psyched ourselves out with all these. So, and then we ended up picking half the same stuff anyway. So
I know. What are you going to do?
It's just funny how it works out. So, my last song, and I would say probably top 2 or 3. I absolutely love this. Kind of my ode, kind of the goodbye to Randy, if nothing else. But it is the title track off his second and last album before he passed, "Diary of a Madman." To me, just such an epic song with the orchestration and the soaringness of it. I absolutely love the acoustic work. Again, the same thing is we were talking about before.
Yeah.
Just
can't go rock and roll.
Exactly. It's just that the acoustic work and
song too.
Yeah. So I love "Diary of a Madman." I think it's really cool seeing Machine Head so many times. They come out to that song. Every time they come out, it's a legendary song for me. I love it. Randy just, again, to me, it's like it almost brings tears to my eyes seeing the song, because that's the last album moment we get from Randy ever. So sad. It sucks. And again, he's poor Ozzy bathing in guitar players, going right from Andy to Jake to Zach. To me, it's, obviously from Tony. I mean, from
right. I mean, let's not forget.
Right.
Oh,
so
Gus
yes.
G later. I mean, before
Gus G
really hurted Gus G. I'm like, oh my, are you kidding me?
Right.
What is with this guy?
Yep. So so that's my last one. "Diary of a Madman." I felt like I couldn't leave that one off. That one just, every time it comes on, it gives me the emotional chills.
Yeah. What gives me the emotional chills is you were listening to it when I first got on today, and that's the tribute album, because that was recorded, it wasn't during Diary tour, right? I think that was recorded.
Yeah.
Is there any songs from Diary of a Madman on there? I don't think there. Yeah, no, that's not true. Flying High Again's on.
Flying High Again. You're right. Yep.
So maybe that was from that tour. But anyway, that's the one, because it came out in 1987, and Randy was long gone by then.
Yeah.
That's the one to me that kind of makes me sad, because you have all this live material, and he sounds amazing live, just like he does, on these albums. So, and it's such a well recorded album. I'm so glad they put that out.
Yes.
And it's such a great solo album, or sorry, live album. I mean, that's what.
Yep.
So I love that one. So that's the one that kind of makes me sad. But yeah, Guy, man, I can't imagine what more we would have got had he still been around. 2 albums. I mean, was he 26?
Yeah.
Oh God, it's so sad. That idiot.
25. He didn't even make it to 26. He died at 25 years old.
Idiot pilot. Decided he wanted to play games and buzz Ozzy's trailer like 5 times. Like, once wasn't enough. He had to do it like 3 more times, and ended up killing everybody. Great.
Yeah.
What a great guy. Thanks a lot. Oh, well, so that's that. I'm going to go through John's list. He's not here. And my buddy Rob's list real quick here.
Sure.
Novak's list, he split it with Ozzy and Sabbath, like I mentioned. His list is Steal Away off of Blizzard of Oz, Mr. Tinker Train off of No More Tears, Hellraiser off of No More Tears, Road to Nowhere off of No More Tears. So that man really likes him some No More Tears.
Excellent.
And yes, absolutely excellent. And I Don't Want to Stop off of Black Rain, which, like I said, that's to me is his last kind of Ozzy sounding album. Now, I don't mind Patient Number 9 and What an Ordinary Man, I think it was one for that. I don't mind either of those albums. There are good songs on both those albums, but to me, those don't really sound like Ozzy kind of solo work albums. Those are kind of more, they're put together by other people.
Sure.
There's a lot of other elements. There's a lot more electronic stuff in them, where
Yeah.
there's some great songs in there, and Ozzy still sounds like Ozzy, obviously, but it doesn't have the same kind of sound or feel as like the Ozzy solo albums, where he had like one group of musicians playing with him on an album. And, so this was still a really good one, I think, for him, solo. So anyway, that's another song off of that album I really like, and I do like that album too. So his favorite Sabbath songs that he has here, not including the ones that we already ruled out, are The Wizard, which nobody had mentioned yet, which I'm actually surprised by that. Sabbath Bloody Sabbath, which I had on my list, and Supernaut, which I'm actually kind of surprised nobody mentioned that one either. Hole in the Sky off of Sabotage. Supernaut was off of Volume 4, and I don't think any of us had anything off of Volume 4,
Nope.
right? Except for that one song. So, props to him. He picked something off an album we didn't have anything off of. And Never Say Die off of the Never Say Die album. I didn't think I'd see any
Nope.
songs off of Never Say Die, but he likes that song a lot. And his honorable mention came off of Technical Ecstasy, another album I didn't think I'd see anything off of. And he put that one in his honorable mention, called You Won't Change Me, based on the great solo by Tony Iommi. And I did listen back to that one earlier today. I'm like, man, I don't know if I remember that solo all that well, because I wasn't really a big fan of that album. There is a fantastic guitar solo in the middle of that song.
Yes,
so
yep.
He is not wrong there. I mean, Tony is just shredding on that one. And it's recorded really well. It's really clear, and it sounds really good too. So that's his list. My buddy Rob's list, he has I Don't Know off of Blizzard of Oz. So that's a couple people now that I have I Don't Know. He also has Children of the Grave off of Master Reality. And then he has Hellraiser off of No More Tears. So all of those songs are on other people's lists. And here's another one, Steal Away. Again, both of these guys had Steal Away off of Blizzard of Oz, which I was shocked to see that, which is kind of cool that they both really like that song. It is a really good song.
I love that song, yeah.
I'm just, none of us chose it, and these guys both chose it. So that's kind of cool. The song Tonight off of Diary of a Madman he has on here, which is another kind of deep cut that I was surprised to see. He has Secret Loser off of Ultimate Sin, just like you do, and like I probably should have on mine too. And then he's got Desire off of No More Tears, which is another really deep cut that nobody else had.
Yep.
And I Just Want You off of Osmosis. And he has one off of Patient Number 9 also, like you do. He likes the One of Those Days with Eric Clapton a lot off of that album. He's got that on his list. And he has the song you had off of Osmosis, and Brian had Perry Mason is the last song on his list. He likes that one a lot. So he was a big fan of Osmosis, it looks like, as well. So he has some deep cuts in here, some other songs off of albums nobody else had. So, and then some, obviously we're all going to have some overlappers. So not, but man, Steal Away just blew my mind. I'm like, both of these guys. That's pretty cool. I mean, Hellraiser, I get, I toyed with putting that one on my list too, because I like that song a lot too. But Steal Away, like I said, it's a great song, but it didn't enter like my top 20 of songs that I started writing down. And then both of them had it. I'm like, man. So I listened to that one again today. I'm like, what was I missing there? And I'm like, okay, yeah, this is a great song too, but you just can't put them all on your list. So
yeah,
but cool stuff. Thanks to both of those guys for sending us their list. So awesome.
All right.
Do you have anything off of Brian's that we didn't cover?
Yeah, quite a bit. And he's
cool.
and Brian, he had to write his little blurb, so bear with me. He wanted to get his thoughts on these. So he did number them, and I don't know if this means this is the order he likes them, but that's the order I'll do them, from 10 to 1. So
awesome.
Number 10 was Killer of Giants, which we already talked about. Number 9, he had Supernaut. He said, never get tired of this classic riff, greasy and bluesy. If you ever wonder where bands like COC or even Lynyrd Skynyrd got parts of their sound from, look no further than Supernaut. See Al Jorgensen's 1000 Homo DJs for a killer cover remix with great sound bites. So that's his number 9. Number 8, an album we didn't even go near, No Rest for the Wicked. He picked Bloodbath in Paradise. With its opening nod to the original Black Sabbath tune. This tune is chock full of Zach squawks and squeals that would make this album such a coming out for what would be Ozzy's next gunslinger.
I like Crazy Babies and Miracle Man off of that one.
I really
Paradise is good too.
Yeah, I only really like Crazy Babies.
Okay.
Miracle Man's pretty good too, I guess.
More guitar riff central for me, but anyway.
So number 7, to kind of help round off Ultimate Sin, he added the song Never, which
all right.
Which again, it's funny that he picked the song that, like, the one song we didn't talk about. So basically he just said most underrated riff in tune on Ultimate Sin, huge massive chorus. So number 7 is Never. Number
Not
6,
to be confused with Never Know Why, because there's 2 songs on there that have Never in the title, which is kind of odd. But
yeah, just Never. Number 6, as one of your buddies mentioned, The Wizard, harmonica in Sabbath, ? Why the hell does this work so well? Nobody knows. It just does. Killer drumming laid down by Bill Ward on this one as well. Next, off of Diary of a Madman, we got Believer. A lot of cool, spooky effects behind this monstrous riff from Randy. No clue where Rhodes comes up with the changes on this one. So 5 is Believer. Number 4, I don't think I've heard this from anybody. From Blizzard of Oz, Suicide Solution. He says my favorite version is on the live dedication to Randy Rhodes tribute.
Okay.
This hits harder and heavier live.
Yeah, I agree with that one. It's also one of the first ones that my friends introduced me to, right? Like, so I listened to solo Ozzy before Black Sabbath, and before I even knew of Black Sabbath, really. But Crazy Train obviously was one. But my friend down the street was like, "Man, you got to hear the Suicide Solution, man. It's like he's talking about wine is fine and whiskey's quicker." And like, I was like, "What?" So it's just like, as a 12, 13-year-old, you're kind of blown away by the whole kind of shock of a song about suicide, right? So you're like, "What? I don't even know what this is," So it was one, and Mr. Crowley was obviously another big one too, another shock value kind of song off of that album. But that was one that I heard really early on, and Brian's right. It hits harder live. It's not, kind of, the subject matter isn't my favorite, but it's a great song nonetheless. It's
a cool riff.
I'm not a lyrics guy. I always say that, but this is one the lyrics kind of get to me a little bit.
Yeah.
It's just kind of a downer,
Sure.
But props to Ozzy. He kind of covers everything in his lyrical content.
He does.
Know what I mean? It's not just evil and death and suicide. He kind of covers everything, which is cool. So anyhow, that's kind of my thoughts on that one. So it's not surprising, but I am surprised he's the only one that had it on their list.
Me too. So number 3, he had Perry Mason, of course, like I had. I think one of your buddies had it. No clue what inspired Ozzy to do a song based on a TV show from 1957, including the theme song to open. But I'm glad he did. Love the orchestration to start, and then those huge accents followed by a classic Zach riff.
So, if only he would have done the Andy Griffith show, and then maybe like Leave It to Beaver or something.
Right. He should have made his rounds.
Oh, awesome. He could have had a whole album dedicated to just TV shows.
Yep. Number 2, I Don't Want to Stop, which again I think was mentioned by a few people as well. As bare bones Ozzy as it gets, just the way we want it. Killer vocals on the verse on this one. I Don't Want to Stop. And then number 1, we already talked about, You Can't Kill Rock and Roll. Again, I already read what he said. The ultimate Ozzy solo anthem. So that's Brian's 10 favorite Ozzy-led songs. So,
all right, good stuff. All right, so we also wanted to cover something that's near and dear to both of us. And now that we have all of the songs out of the way, we wanted to talk about Ozzfest a little bit. The kind of write-up that I have here, I guess I'll just kind of go through what I have, and then you can add your thoughts either as I'm doing it or afterwards, however you want to do it. But I actually sat down and I made a list of bands that I have seen that made an impression on me that I remember seeing at Ozzfest. Or also, I have one list of basically bands that I would never have heard of or had never seen until I saw them on Ozzfest, seen live. Maybe I'd heard their music, but I hadn't seen them live, or I would never even heard of these bands. Maybe I would have later. It's hard to say, but some of these bands I'd never even have heard of in general if I hadn't seen them on Ozzfest. And also, I have a list of bands that I already knew of and liked, but just kind of solidified my fandom that because from seeing them on Ozzfest. I mean, Ozzfest, I was at 7 of the yearly Ozzfests. Um, it's just it every year I went, every year I found more bands. I know it was kind of the same for you. So I kind of wanted to say that not only did Ozzy and Black Sabbath together create and inspire my favorite genre of music, they and he also toured with so many amazing bands during this annual tour that became like staples in my life. And many that, like I said, I would have never have heard of otherwise. So this list here are bands that I either saw for the first time or had never even heard of until Ozzfest. The first one being Black Sabbath. I never would have seen Black Sabbath had it not been for Ozzfest. So that would in itself is huge. And I got to see him like 4 times on Ozzfest. So that in itself was really big. Then you got Disturbed, Slipknot, Mudvayne, Cold Chamber, Nothing Face, Shovel, Ultraspank. If you haven't heard of Shovel, if you like any of the rap rock stuff, their album Set It Off. Just go find it. I don't even know if you can find it anywhere, if it's on Spotify or Apple Tune or iTunes, whatever. Dude, go listen to that. It is one of the best recorded, clearest sounding albums I had ever heard. It's amazing. It sounds so good. There are so many great songs on there. I was blown away when I saw those guys live. I couldn't get enough of them. And then they only really came out with the one album. And then the next one, they came out with a second one. You can't even find it. And I don't think I ever found it. But I still listen to that album. It's so good. Shovel, Shuvel. Ultraspank is another one that I really like seeing live. Push Monkey is a band I would have never heard of. These guys, these bands I like so much, I went out and bought the albums as soon as I saw them. Some of them never amounted to anything, but I still love these albums. Drain STH is another one. Downset. I absolutely love Downset, and I'd have never heard of them without seeing them. I don't think on Ozzfest. I don't think I'd ever seen them before Ozzfest, but they were incredible. Head PE is another one that I really liked. Like their first 3 albums are fantastic. Static X, Taproot, Reveille, Lost Prophets, Black Label Society, Edema, Shadows Fall, Lacuna Coil, Motograder, Unearthed, Atreyu, and Devil Driver. That's a gigantic list of bands that I had never even heard of those bands or had never seen them before I saw them on Ozzfest. With the exception of, like I said, maybe Downset I had seen once before, but I can't remember. I've seen them a bunch of times. So then I went to a little bit shorter list of other bands that kind of put on amazing shows, but kind of further solidified that I really loved them by seeing them on Ozzfests. And just really, these really stood out to me. Korn, Machine Head, Tool, Fear Factory, Seven Dust, Godsmack, POD, Kitty, Drowning Pool, one of the last 5 shows that Dave Williams did before he died. I saw them at 2 Ozzfest. Spineshank. I love Spineshank. I wish they were still around to this day. They only came out with 3 albums. They're all fantastic. I love all 3 of them. But I already had seen them and I saw them at Ozzfest. I'm like, I'm probably the only one that was really into them, but they were great. Chevelle, Down, Killswitch Engage, just all bands that, I loved seeing them live. I had already liked them. My last Ozzfest was 2004 in Pittsburgh. We left before Judas Priest came on, which was kind of the main headliner. I think Ozzy played that one too, but I remember leaving before we left. But I do remember some of the bands. Dimmu Borgir, I remember seeing them at that show and a few other bands. The last one in this area in Cleveland area was also that 2004 with Judas Priest. Now the next 3 years, 05, 06, and I think 08, they still played in Pittsburgh. I saw 3 Ozzfests in Pittsburgh, but I didn't see any of those. So those were kind of more bands I wasn't really kind of into, not so much on the main stage, but on the second stages. And I just was kind of, I don't know, I guess I just had enough Ozzfest by then, but there's even some bands that played on those second stages that I probably wouldn't have heard of before that I do like now. So I would have probably found even more. But I just wanted to say a few words about Ozzfest and all of these bands that I like have listened to, just worn out in some cases, and other bands that I love that had played on this unbelievable annual tour. We couldn't wait to see who was playing on Ozzfest and when the tickets went on sale and when the date was. We just couldn't wait. It was awesome. Well, that's it. That's all I got.
Awesome. Well, yeah, Ozzfest for me, I think we have a lot of the same feelings with Ozzfest, right? I think with my age, again, I'm a little bit younger than you. When the first Ozzfest came around, I was still in high school. So first one I went to was 98, Akron Rubber Bowl. I know you were there too. We've talked about this numerous times.
Yep.
This kind of was right in when I was starting to go to shows a lot. And I was completely amazed by the festival setup. To me, so many bands being in the same place that I had just heard of, that I had heard on the radio, that I had CDs of, all playing in the same concert, to me was just an incredible thing. Again, a 17-year-old me. And it really set the stage for my life because, I mean, I'm a festival junkie. I love going to festivals. Yeah, John, you missed nothing.
Did I miss anything? No, we just started, man.
Yeah.
Oh, that's awesome.
I mean, we only read your list and made fun of it, and those
crumpled it up and threw it out. And...
Basically, yeah.
No,
John, good stuff. Thanks for giving us that.
Yeah, thank you so much.
List of your favorite stuff. So appreciate that.
You'll have to listen back to it later. It's a later time.
Yep. But just totally blew me away. And like I said, I'm a huge festival junkie now. I still love going to Sonic Temple and Louder Than Life and One Time Incarceration. I mean, that one time, and I probably will never go again. But
yeah,
it
just
wasn't
chasing that Ozzfest feel, right? Because that's what started it all.
You're right. Yeah. But yeah, after that 1 year of Akron Rubber Bowl, I was hooked. Like, I was like, well, I need to go to this every year as long as they have it. And same thing with you. Like, I would have probably never gotten to see Ozzy. I would have never gotten to see Black Sabbath. And that year that we went, like, Tool played right before Ozzy, but they weren't what they are now. No. Like, they had just come out with, I think, Anima, I believe, when we seen them. And then Megadeth, I mean, obviously they were kind of a little past their main prime, but I think they still had Friedman at the time. I think they still had Menza. I think they still had those guys in there. Maybe. I think that was right around like Cryptic Writing. So I think it was right around that time.
It was. I saw them at the World Series of Metal for Cryptic Writings kind of when it came out. And then I think the next summer they were on Ozzfest and they played some stuff off of that one. Kind of the same with Tool. I saw them in 95 when Anima came out at Blossom. And then I saw them again at Ozzfest. But you're right. Just the lineups. I mean, that's why I wanted to throw all those bands. The lineups were just ridiculous. Like, everybody, all these bands, I think, wanted to play Ozzfest,
Yeah.
I wanted to feel like they fought over it almost,
Yeah.
It's ridiculous.
Yep. And, you mentioned Limp Bizkit just started out. They had just put out their first record. That's all they had. They weren't that huge yet. So,
and then, a big toilet on stage.
Yeah, big toilet on stage.
Like, I'll never forget that, right?
And, wild looking at the names of these. On the second stage of that year, Motorhead, System of a Down, Incubus. And again, I know you don't love a lot of those bands, but look how huge they are now.
Yes.
Because, like, they all started here. Life of Agony, Snot played on there as well. Life of Agony. I mean, these are pretty big bands. So, yeah, I mean, they wanted to for the same exact reasons you gave up.
These bands wanted to be on it because they knew, like, the exposure factor.
Yeah,
right?
I mean, you're basically opening for Ozzy, right?
Like, all day.
Right. So, after 98, for some reason I didn't go in 99. I was graduating from high school, so I didn't get to make it that year. But you better believe,
I think that was the year they didn't come to Cleveland.
Is that might be?
Yeah, they played in Pittsburgh. It's one of the ones I had to go see in Pittsburgh. It's the first time I saw Slipknot. That was that year. So, and that was the year of the cicadas. Like, oh my God, they were everywhere. Like, the covers that went over the speakers, like on the second stage, were covered with cicadas. It was disgusting. These things were everywhere. Like in Pennsylvania, in the middle of nowhere, these cicadas were everywhere. Oh, it was disgusting.
Yep. Then 2000, I remember that's the first year I went at Blossom. That's the year of Ozzy. I think that was maybe that might have been the second and last time I only saw solo Ozzy, I think. Because I think a couple years after that, he canceled the Cleveland show. He wasn't able to play it. But Pantera played on there. That's one of a few times I got to see them. Godsmack was early on that year. Static X. POD, like you had mentioned. And again, Disturbed was on the second stage, and that's the year they were getting so big that they had to move them to the main stage because they were just destroying things over on that side stage. There was no room, so they ended up putting them later on in the tour on that main stage, and they did the same with Slipknot. I think that year that you went in '99, the same exact situation where they were just getting too big. People were getting too crazy. You had to move them over to the main stage. So.
Yeah, we got to see him on the second stage in Pittsburgh though.
Okay.
So it was insane. So it was really cool though because after that they got so big so fast. After that, you weren't ever going to see him in that small of an area, right? Like it was absolute insanity.
Yeah. Well, I was lucky enough to see him at the Agora for the first album, and that was completely insane. Probably top 5 highlights of my life. Just literally jumping off speakers and stuff. It was insane. But yeah, 01, that's the one time I got to see Black Sabbath. I'll always remember that. They just shredded through their hits, so I got to hear all of those songs, Tony playing all those riffs. So awesome. Manson, I was on that year. Slipknot was on the main stage. Linkin Park was just getting started. I think they only had their first record at the time. Disturbed was put on the main stage right from the beginning that year. Mm-hmm. Second stage was so awesome that year. Mudvayne. I remember Union Underground, Spineshank, like you mentioned, Hatebreed. I loved that. They blew me away. Drowning Pool, like you said, seeing them with their original singer one of the last times there. That was pretty crazy too. And then I think I did go in 02. 02, I believe, was the year that, that's the year Ozzy canceled. So we went to Cleveland and we got there and they announced that Ozzy was not going to play, and they offered us food credit or something for that day. And then System of a Down ended up headlining that. And I'd seen System of a Down, and I was a pretty good fan at that point, but I thought they were terrible, just terrible.
They were.
They were really bad on that show.
I kept talking about how they weren't terrorists, and I don't know what that was all about. I mean, I guess it was kind of the times, right? So everybody was just like, everybody that was foreign in 2002, I guess, was a terrorist. I don't know, but I'm like, God, shut up already. We're here to hear your music. Who's calling you terrorists? But there was enormous amounts of feedback. It was awful. They sounded terrible. It was just terrible.
Yeah, that year though, I remember that second stage. The second stage was insane. Down headlined it. Hatebreed, Meshuggah. That's the one time I only saw Meshuggah.
Same for me. The only time I've ever seen them.
I liked the smaller bands, like you said, like Soil was on that.
Lost Prophets.
Yep, Lost Prophets, which was awesome, but now we don't talk about them anymore. But
I mean, we're not going to do a review of any of their stuff, but back then it was pretty badass. Actually.
Yeah, Chevelle. I think that's the first time I ever saw Chevelle was at this Ozzfest. OTEP, I was a fan of. Switched, they're a Cleveland band that I'm a big fan of. And I think Mushroom Head played too, but I don't know if they played the Cleveland show. You would think they would have, but I don't. Something's telling me that they didn't play that show. I don't know.
I don't think they did.
Yeah, I think not. But
they did.
03, I'm pretty sure, was actually the last year I ended up going. And I think the only reason I went was because of Killswitch. That was the year that I had got into Killswitch, obviously 03. That's right about their first record. That's right when Howard took over. And I got to see Killswitch on one of their first shows with Howard. I think there was only a handful. So that was phenomenal. I remember seeing Nothing Face, you mentioned there. Again, one of my favorites early on. I really, really liked them. Chevelle, Disturbed, Manson, Korn, and then I did see Ozzy that year. So I seen him one more time after that. But after 03, I did not go anymore. That year 2004, I didn't go. 05, and then you just like you said, they stopped coming to Cleveland after a little while too. So, but yeah, just legendary. And again, I still love that festival feeling, and it takes me back to those days of going to those Ozzfest. Me and my buddies, Brian S., who is on a lot of these with us. We were in a band together, so we did a lot of those things together. Like all the band went together with our girlfriends or whatever, and hung out at the day. And just the coolest thing. And that's the thing too, Mr. H. It was all one day. It was from 11 o'clock in the morning till midnight, one full day,
and
stages.
No bands playing when other bands were playing. And that doesn't happen today. Now they have to put so many bands in there. You have to choose. There's sometimes 3 bands playing at one time.
Yep.
At festivals today. Ozzfest made sure. Now, one band just got done, and they're like, "See you, good night," and the next band started playing. You had to hustle over to that stage, but you didn't miss anybody. You could see. You couldn't eat, but you could see everybody. You couldn't go to the bathroom, but you could see every band if you wanted to. For sure.
Do you remember the one year? And I thought it was genius, and I don't know why they don't do it anymore. Maybe I don't know. But do you remember the year at Blossom where they had the rotating stage on the main stage?
Yeah, I do.
So a band played, and while that band was playing, they were literally setting up behind, and then they just flipped the stage around, and then the next band was ready to play. To me, it's like, why do they not do that? That seems, you just get like a big round circle. You set up the drums, like you split the circle in half, drums in the first half, drums in the second half, and flip them around. And you're ready to go. There's like 5 minutes between bands instead of 20 or whatever. So I wish they did that more. I thought that was genius. I don't know why they didn't go further with that.
Yeah, and I don't know why they didn't do that every year for Ozzfest, but they didn't.
Yeah.
But at the same time, it was kind of cool because, like I said, with you're starting at 11:30 in the morning, and there's bands playing the entire time. So if you wanted to see every band, you could. Well, the cool thing was once they got to the main stage, you had 15 minutes in between bands. So you could go to the bathroom. You could go get something to eat real quick because 11 to 11 is a long time out in the sun, sweating your ass off, moshing, doing whatever you're doing without eating or drinking anything or going to the bathroom. So it kind of worked, but I do remember they did have that revolving stage the one year, though, and it was just kind of – but I think what that allowed them to do was have all those bands. I wish I could remember what year. I was trying to look to see which year had more main stage acts on it to see if maybe that was the year that they did it. I can't remember, but I think what it allowed them to do is give every band like an extra 10 minutes.
Yeah.
It was like everybody could play a headlining set, sort of,
It was 2001 because I remember – and they did. It was – I want to say they were able to put more bands on the main stage. Like they rotated a few bands from the second stage.
There's 8 bands on there. Yeah, that's the year that basically people booed Crazy Town off the stage. Like Black Label played first. Everybody was fine with that. And then Crazy Town played and everybody was like, what in the world what's this Butterfly? Like, what are we talking about here?
Yeah.
Like people like booed them and they even apologized. They're like, we're sorry. The weird thing is now they played on Ozzfest in 2000, got pulled off after like 4 dates from their management, probably because they weren't a good fit for Ozzfest. Well, then why in the next year were they on it again?
Just because they got that. I think that's the year they got huge with that song. Now, again, that doesn't make them any more suitable for this audience. But
I remember them literally apologizing on stage, like, we're sorry that you guys hate us and that we know that we aren't a good fit with. These are the other bands on the main stage: Black Label Society, Them, Disturbed, Linkin Park, Papa Roach, Slipknot, Marilyn Manson, Black Sabbath. So, yeah, Crazy Town doesn't fit with any of that whatsoever. So, oh, man. So, yeah, I remember that. But, yeah, I think you're right. And it allowed all those bands to play a little bit longer, too, because Disturbed was huge then, and Linkin Park was getting huge. Papa Roach was already huge. Slipknot was already huge. And Manson, was huge.
Yeah.
So, and then you had Sabbath to close it off. So, they all got a little extra time, I think, by having the rotating stage. I think you're right. That had to be the one.
Yep, a lot of fun, and that's kind of my lasting impression. Is it made me love the festival life, and I still do it today, and I'll do it as much as I can, even though now I don't walk as well after 4 long days of it. But again, I love it. I absolutely love even without the bands, just the feeling of it, the atmosphere, and it all kind of stemmed from this. That again, we could poo poo a lot of what Sharon did, but building Ozzfest was phenomenal. It was amazing, and a lot of credit to Jack too, because I guess Jack is the one that I guess went to his mom and was like, "These are all the bands I like, so let's get them."
Zach. Jack was responsible for me seeing bands like Push Monkey and Shovel, and like I don't think these were on Ozzy's radar. Ozzy,
no,
even during these Ozzfests, he was doing other tours in between Ozzfests.
Yeah.
If you look at his tour, schedule from back then, so he was constantly on the road. I don't think he was listening to Shovel and Push Monkey and Reveille and Spine Shank, but Jack was. So Jack's like, these are the bands. Get these guys on Ozzfest because he wanted to see them too, right?
Well, and also remember too, Ozzy was 50 years old already. When these started.
Yeah.
I think when I seen him in '98, he was 49. I think.
Yeah.
So that just shows you that. I mean, he's doing these Ozzfest and all these extra tours you're talking about, older than me, like older than I am right now. So. I mean, it's wild to think about how long he was still making music and still doing tours after these Ozzfests. 50, 55 years old. It's wild.
Crazy.
So
crazy.
Wild and crazy.
All right. Well, thank you, Ozzy. Rest in peace.
Yep. We'll miss you. We'll definitely miss you. He's definitely left an impression, like you said, on music.
Gigantic impression.
Yep.
On us.
Yeah.
In particular, and in music in general, like just it can't be overstated the amount of influence and things that have spawned out of, who was doing heavy metal like festivals before Ozzfest? Nobody. Now there's one like every 4-hour drive. They're all over the place. They fight over which weekends to do them, right? So there's one like every other weekend. Somewhere, and they're 4 days long. Ozzfest was only a day, but without that, I'm not sure they would even exist.
Right. Yeah, 100% agree with that.
Unbelievable.
All right, partner. Well, I was glad we're able to do this. I feel like we picked a good time for us. Like we had weird feelings about it right when he passed, but you let a little bit of Oops, we both clicked.
Yeah, we both showed it at once. Yeah.
Yes, Lilith Fair for sure. Yeah.
The Lilith Fair, And honestly, I think, Lollapalooza deserves a little credit in there. That was kind of going around the same time. That was also a touring festival day-long thing. So
yeah.
But it's just a little slightly different, but
yeah. But yeah, I guess I was saying it's, we took a little bit of time, but I think we found a good spot for us to do it. We wanted to do it. So I'm glad we were able to put something together to just kind of honor Ozzy and his legacy. So awesome.
Awesome. All right. So next week we go into the next band and we'll have the letter H.
Back to letter H.
And we'll be doing heart. I'm not going to make the heart with my fingers. I'm not doing it. So
don't do it.
I'm not doing it.
We're going to review Heart.
Yes.
Heart, and they're 14. I guess they probably have more than that, but we took away a Christmas album. We took away one that's like a re-recording.
Yeah.
So I think we're going to end up doing 14 records.
Yep.
So join us. If you want to listen to all of them with us, Godspeed.
No, we're not doing HSAS, John. Just Heart.
I don't know what that is.
Heart.
What's HSAS?
I'll let him tell you.
Is that sash backwards?
No. It's Hagar, Sean. Is the other S Smith, Steve Smith, I think, from Journey, and A is
Hagar, Sean, Aronson, and Shreve.
Shreve, my bad. Yeah, no, Hagar and Sean are the only two I really cared about in there. But yeah, he loves him some HSAS. But
I'll have to tune in and listen to that because I've never heard that before, which is kind of rare. I've heard of most everything.
Yeah, it's 80s rock. So I mean, it fits right in with that stuff. It's kind of a super group. So I'm guessing a couple of those were in Heart. I'm assuming. I don't know. I'm not.
So Hagar before Van Halen.
Was that before or Deering in there somewhere? Might have been right before.
Yeah, right before.
I know John would know. He's a huge fan. He can tell us next week. He can give us all the deets on HSAS.
HSAS has
I don't
one
think
album.
they have anything to do with Heart, actually.
They released 1984, so that would be the year of 1984,
Yep.
which would be Van Halen. What's his face? David Lee Roth's last record.
Yeah, and
before later on, but yeah.
Carrying Hagar's still solo career, I guess. He did this album.
Interesting. All right, so Heart next week. Thanks everybody for tuning in. Thank you, John. Thank you, Ozzy fan, for jumping in, and thank you,
Rob, for his list also, and thank John for his list.
Yep. Well, thanks, Brian. Brian for the list as well. Hendo. All right. Well, again, thanks again for listening, everybody, and we will see you in the next one.
Rock on.
Looks like you've been missing a lot of work lately.
I wouldn't say I've been missing it, Bob.
What would you say you do here?
God damn it. Bob, we love playing here tonight. My brother's ready.
It helps if you think of it as a game, Bob. Every game has a winner and a loser.
You must possess strength to inflict pain, Bob.